So today we'll start off, we'll continue the characteristics of qualitative research. So the other day we were discussing about some of the qualities of qualitative research, the characteristics of qualitative research. And I told you that it focuses on more of a natural setting wherein the researcher is much more actively involved than experimental design. They are properly interacting with the subjects and they are trying to get their experience out of it rather than it's a more narrative kind of study where you take in the patient's feelings and their experience and you try to gather data from that. Okay, there are multiple methods of doing so as well. You can observe the subject, or you can perform interviews. You can take documents, what their case sheets are telling. There are several methods of taking data in this qualitative research as such. Now, another characteristic of qualitative research is that it has an emphasis on process. What is being done is very important. Okay, rather than how it is being done is also pretty important. So you do not exactly see data or subjects uh, in a numbers basis. You'll emphasize on things that are happening and developing, how they are progressing. So if let's suppose if you are seeing a particular group of people of a particular culture, okay, how that group is being formed, how are they interacting with each other, how are the transactions occurring in that group, what are the social dynamic in that group, are they leaders, is there someone following some head in that group, how is the social dynamic in general in that group, how is that group surviving altogether, how is that culture living, वो पूरा आप पढ़ने की कोशिश करते हैं. So the emphasis on process is very important in qualitative design. Okay, then we have this. It is flexible. It's very flexible in the sense that if you remember in true experimental design or in experimental designs as such, quantitative one especially, uh, the protocol was set. ठीक है, वहां पर एक strict protocol था which was being followed. The experiment was already jotted down. You need to do these methods. These are the subjects and this ऐसा करना रहता. Qualitative design में उतना नहीं रहता. ठीक है, the researcher is able to adjust as they go on with the research. Okay? As the data is being collected and they learn more and more things about the subject, they can adjust what they are researching about. Okay? During the period of data collection itself, depending on the situation and the researcher's interest, maybe something new might come up in that group and they might want to find out about that. Okay? So let's suppose you are seeing, for example, how is the change in quality of life in patients with cancer upon giving a particular drug, and maybe you find out that because of a drug people are getting depressed. So now you start studying about depression in those patients. So आप flexible रखते हैं अपनी study को. You do not have any proper protocol as such that you will only study this. As things develop you might change it a little bit. ठीक है, and because of that qualitative research seeks to explain the current situation. Qualitative research is completely focused on the current situation, what is happening to the patient right now. Okay, how are they feeling right now? What they are experiencing right now? Okay, qualitative research tries to explain that, and because it is done in the field, you have to do it in the current situation. Until and unless there is only one possible exception, that is a focus group. Focus group में आप क्या करते हैं? You take 3 to 10 people and you use a script of questions on them. Okay, you have a particular script of questions that you have designed based on their scenario and based on that situation that they are in, and there will be a moderator who will be asking the questions and a recorder who records the question responses. Okay, but other than that, more often than not, it is completely present in the current situation. जैसा current situation change हो रहा वैसा research भी change होती, and it is more holistic in general. Qualitative research, their research completely is defined by qualitative research is completely defined by open-ended questions, meaning you give the participant complete freedom. They might address the situation that they are in whatever way they want to. They can explain it from their point of view in whatever way they wish to. What you do as a researcher is take cues from that. You extract data from what they are telling, but you listen to the whole thing. Okay, it will not be it will be less of a yes and no question, and it will be more like you are getting the whole picture in general. Okay, so qualitative research, how should I put it? Think of it this way: qualitative research involves understanding the patient's complete situation and the surrounding situation rather than about a particular condition that they are facing altogether. Okay. Now, coming to the classification of qualitative research design. Now, you don't have a lot of detail in this. You can go into detail, but it is not necessary for you at your level. Just basic definitions and understanding of those classification is more than important. Okay. Classification of qualitative research design. Okay. Now, there are 6 different categories in qualitative research design. We'll go at them one by one. First of all, we have ethnography. ठीक है, इसको ethnographic research design भी बोलते हैं. This process itself is called ethnography. Now, ethnography is you are systematically studying people and cultures which are designed to explore from the subject's perspective, from the subject's point of view, how they are perceiving that particular situation, that particular society. Ethnography is essentially representing a culture of a particular group graphically and writing about it. आप क्या करते हैं? You go to a group of people of a particular culture. Let's suppose, for example, you go to an indigenous population of Telugu people who are living in, let's suppose, Telangana in some village, and you talk to them about their own experience. How do they perceive their culture is? Okay, what is their observation? वो आप record करते हैं. Okay, what do they think about their culture and वैसा. Okay, this will involve more of a emic perspective. Ethnography में you have something called an emic perspective. Emic perspective is essentially the insider's point of view. ठीक है. अब एक sample group में, group of sample में, let's suppose there are 100 people. ठीक है. उसमें से आप you are choosing one person and you are asking them to describe their situation. How is their situation? How is their living conditions? Maybe how are what is the food that they eat? Maybe what is the work that they do? Is there one particular type of work that the whole community does? For example, let's suppose that whole community is a community of potters. All of them do pottery and all of that. या फिर all of them are blacksmiths. या ऐसा कुछ है क्या? From their perspective, you are trying to gather data. That is emic perspective. And ethnography may you'll also involve etic perspective. Etic perspective will be your perspective as a researcher, how you are seeing their situation as a third person. Okay? You are not essentially involved in the culture. You are going there and you're trying to study their culture from their point of view. Okay? That will be an etic perspective. You are having a distant and more analytical orientation to the experience. You're seeing what they are experiencing from a third person's perspective. So ethnography में you will combine both emic and etic perspectives and you try to write down what is their क्या बोलते हैं situation. अब ये nursing में कैसे apply होता? See, there are 3 main purposes of performing focused ethnographies in nursing research. One of it is to discover how people from various cultures will integrate health beliefs, in the sense that integrate health beliefs into practices of their lives. For example, let's suppose now you have elders in your home who tell that turmeric is good for health. Example, ऐसा बोल रहे. So how are they associating their cultural beliefs with healthcare? ठीक है. They are telling that through generations together, people have been consuming turmeric in various forms. You either put it in curry and cook it, or you drink turmeric milk, or whatever the way you are using it. In general, Indians use turmeric quite a lot. So how are they integrating that health belief, thinking that okay, turmeric is going to help, and how are they implementing that in their own life? Okay, how is that impacting their health? That is one way you can see. It can be several other things. Maybe now, if you go to the hotter regions of India or hotter regions as such of the world, people generally tend to eat spicy food. Okay, much more hotter food. It will be a lot of chili will be present. One of the perspectives behind that is, or one of the reasons behind that is, it will force them to drink more water, kind of. Okay, that is the logic behind it. So, आप कैसा health को affect कर रहे हैं because of that? आप वो पढ़ सकते हैं nursing में through ethnography in the nursing. ठीक है, you'll be able to understand the meaning that members of a subculture have from their experience. ठीक है, if they are eating spicy food or if they are eating turmeric, are they finding any particular benefit? ठीक है, do they really think that turmeric or no, turmeric or whatever practice they have is helping them long term? ठीक है, so that is how nursing, ethnography will get involved in nursing. And the main way through which you collect data in this will be primarily participants' observation. What is the participant observing about their group and about that phenomena? That is the main source of information for you. Okay. Second source will be interviews, either formal interview or informal interview, in the sense that formal interview you are properly directly asking questions. Informal interview in the sense that you are indirectly asking questions. Matlab, you are trying to gauge information out of the conversation. Okay, you are trying to pick up cues from the conversation. Yeah, fair. You might, another third source would be examining relevant documents. Maybe some other researcher has already done research about this particular culture and this particular group of people, and you are reading their research. Maybe you might be able to find something in their research. Okay, so that is ethnography. That is one type of qualitative research where आप cultural group का point of view से research कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, what they are experiencing about that particular phenomena, whatever a phenomena it may be. Then we have phenomenology. Now, phenomenology, see, this is a science whose purpose is to describe any phenomena, to describe a particular phenomena or appearance of thing as a lived experience. In the sense that, for example, a patient को जाके, if they're living that experience, in the sense that, let's suppose, if that human is experiencing happiness, or if they're experiencing caring, or if they're undergoing a coronary bypass surgery, whatever it might be, once they have lived through that experience, you are going and documenting their, their response about that phenomenon. So let's suppose someone who has lost a lot of weight, okay, and have become underweight. तो आप उनको जाके पूछ रहे, how does it feel to be underweight? How was the process of changing your body weight, or how was the process of undergoing surgery? What did you feel during surgery? ठीक है, it focuses on the universal essence rather than in individual experience. ठीक है, आप overall during the process कैसा feel करें, and what do you think other people might feel while doing the same thing? ठीक है, this kind of research is very good for emotional content, to understand human experience versus intensive human experience. Especially maybe if they are involved in a certain phenomena, their mood improves quite a bit, or if they are involved in a certain phenomena, their mood decreases quite a bit. Another example would be, let's suppose you go to a person and someone they know passed away, example, okay, and you are going to them, obviously after a while till they get adjusted, and you go and ask them, so how did you feel, like what happened, how did it impact your life, what happened, what kind of weight did that person hold in your life, and how did the whole process go with you, ऐसा. तो आप फिनोमिना को पढ़ रहे with the person's experience of living it. Okay, that person has already experienced that particular phenomenon, and you are trying to gauge their experience out of it. Okay, that is phenomenology. Then we have, again, I'm not going into a lot of details about it. You can have several different types of studies in phenomenology or ethnography. तो पूरा आप लोगों को भी जरूरत नहीं है. You don't need to go into ridiculous details and all of this. Historical studies. Now, historical studies, as the name suggests, you are identifying, you are locating, you are evaluating and synthesizing data from the past. Okay. Now, इसका source of data कैसा रहता? You are either primary source या secondary source रहता. आप क्या कर रहे हैं? Past experiences से या past, it might be textbooks or something or the other, written records, diaries, oral histories, जो भी है, you are taking that data from the past and you are linking it to the present or the future. ठीक है, तो in the sense that पहले ऐसा हुआ था तो अब ऐसा हो सकता. So for example, let's suppose there is a 5-year cycle of drought in a particular area, meaning every 5 years there will be a drought, okay, or there will be famine. Example, in an area, after every 5 years, let's suppose the 6th year there will be a drought. ठीक है, तो फिर 5 years होने के बाद फिर एक 6th year ऐसा होना. ठीक है। तो आप हिस्टोरिकल स्टडी में क्या कर रहे हैं, इससे पहले कितने साल तक हुआ, लेट्स सपोज दिस हैपेंड इन 1900, up to 1905 it was fine, then 1906 there was a drought, ठीक है, then 5 years it was fine, then 1912 there was a drought, एग्जाम्पल, ठीक है। तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं, इससे पहले जो हुआ था बेस्ड ऑन दैट अभी कौन से ईयर में ये एरिया में ड्रॉट आने वाला है, व्हाट कैन यू डू टू इम्प्रूव द सिचुएशन देयर, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर करेंटली लिविंग इन 2021, तो 2021 में आप ऐसा एक्सट्रापोलेट करते गए तो अब 1900 में आया था, एवरी सिक्स ईयर्स में एक बार ड्रॉट आ रहा, 5 years के बाद एक बार ड्रॉट आ रहा, तो 2021 में क्या लाइक्लीहुड है ड्रॉट आने का, आता नहीं आता, और हैज द सिचुएशन चेंज, maybe the occurrence of drought has decreased or maybe it has increased because of whatever factor. You are taking the data from the past and you're correlating it with present, or you're correlating it with future as well. So future maybe in the coming years it might happen like this, both. That is historical study essentially. Now the source of data is primary or secondary. Primary source of data will be first hand, matlab let's suppose you are able to talk to someone who experienced with that famine, ठीक है, eyewitnesses या oral histories, someone is telling you directly, see we have experienced this and we are talking about it, that is oral history. या फिर you have direct written records by people who have experienced it, pictorial resources रह सकते, या फिर physical evidence रह सकता. One example is let us suppose you as a nurse want to find out what were the practices of midwives in 1940s. Okay, a nurse researcher wished to examine what were the practices of nursing midwives. Okay, nursing midwives तो आपको पता ही होंगे, what is a midwife? So they take care of pregnant women, and even after parturition they will be able to take care of the baby and the medical lady. So 1940s में what were the practices of these nursing midwives? ठीक है, how did they go about without the presence of this current technology and without the presence of this current communication and all of that, drugs and everything. So if you want to find out how they did that, one of the best ways of doing that is oral history. Oral history as in you try to find out people who worked in 1940s and midwives. Okay, you try to find out people who were working as midwives in 1940s and 1950s, and you directly go to them and talk to them. Okay, that will be one of the best sources of information, primary source of information, because of directly information there from a professional who worked during that time. Okay, secondary source of information will be, let's suppose in the same scenario there was a midwife who worked in 1940s. Essentially, if a midwife worked in 1940s, there is a very small chance that she will survive till now. She might already have passed away. Maybe someone who is very closely related to that midwife might be able to talk about it. Let's suppose that midwife had a son or a daughter or a husband or whatever, whoever it was, who was closely related to them. You go to them and talk about the experience. So उन्होंने secondary source बन जाते. Even though they have also lived through that experience, they more often than not understand it from their mother's perspective or from the midwife's perspective. ठीक है, जो भी है उनका relationship, maybe sister, brother, whatever it was. ठीक है, so you are going and interviewing a secondary person who was related to the primary person. The secondary person who you are talking to and who you are collecting the information from will become a secondary source. Other secondary sources would be books, encyclopedias, research review, newspapers. वो पूरे secondary sources हो जाते हैं. Another example would be, let's suppose, okay, let's suppose in during war, let's suppose in World War I, ठीक है, वो टाइम पे there was a nurse who documented how she treated people with injuries. ठीक है, let's suppose there was a nurse during World War I who documented how people were treated, how they were given first aid during this time, okay, in the battlefield and all of that. And she wrote it down in a piece of document and she posted that document. Let's suppose she sent it as a letter to some person. Okay, let's suppose that person is X. अब आप क्या कर रहे हैं? You are going to this person X and you are trying to fetch that document, or maybe X has read that document, summarized it, and that X is narrating it to you. Okay, so X has already read that document. She knows what happened. She or he knows what happened to that nurse, and they are telling you They are narrating it to you. See, that person experienced this, and they were able to deal with situations like this, and so on and so forth. So those become secondary sources. Okay? So that is historical studies essentially. And then we have another type, which is case studies. Now, case studies जो है, these are in-depth studies about either one single individual or a small group of individuals. ठीक है? For example, let's suppose a nurse is studying about one patient who is undergoing chemotherapy, and she's trying to study how do a nurse and patient manage nausea associated with chemotherapy from one case study. ठीक है? How well will I be able to, as a nurse, let's suppose I'm a nurse, and how well will I be able to cope up with nausea that occurs due to chemotherapy? Now, once the patient is on chemotherapy, obviously there'll be nausea. So how will I and the patient together be able to deal with that chemotherapy other than just giving the drug altogether? Because there can be a lot of uncomfortable experiences to the patient. Or let's suppose another example is, अब आप डेटा बहुत जगह से कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं केस स्टडी में, बिकॉज यू आर गोइंग डीप इन अ सिंगल पर्सन, और यू आर गोइंग डीप, trying to find out about a single person or a small group of people. Data is collected through either questioning them. You can perform questionnaires, or you can interview them, you can observe how they are behaving, what is the change in their behavior. You get written accounts essentially on the subjects or by the subjects as such. Another example is, let's suppose there is one patient, or there are, let's suppose, 5 patients who are taking insulin pumps. Okay? They are taking insulin pumps. There are 5 patients who have diabetes, and they are taking insulin pumps. And you, as a nurse researcher, want to find out how one person or a small group of people who have diabetes are responding to insulin pumps. Do they like it? Do they think it is very expensive? Do they think it is working or not working? क्या है उनका experience? ठीक है, in detail and over time. So maybe from the date they started the treatment to the date, let's suppose 1 or 2 months after they are continuously taking insulin pumps, what is their experience? आप वैसा case study कर रहे हो. So that is essentially a case study. You are looking at a small population, and you are trying to find out data from their experience. Then we have action research studies. Action research study में क्या कर रहे हैं आप? Now the researcher will try to perform an action, and they are seeking to improve the patient's condition. Okay, especially in hospital setting. Let's suppose they identify a problem. I'll show you one small flow chart. Okay, so that image is not loading. Hold on, I'll just draw that flow chart. It will be easier. So ये देखो, you are identifying a problem, some problem that the patient is having. Let's suppose identify. Identify. Hold on, there's some problem with Zoom. Okay. You see that the patient is coming across some problem, whatever that problem is in a hospital. Let's suppose they come with acidity. Okay. And acidity or whatever it is, you identify some problem in the patient. Okay. And you devise a plan to counter that problem. ठीक है, आप प्लान बना रहे, प्लान बनाने के बाद you execute that plan, you take action essentially, you act to implement your plan. ठीक है, नाउ यहाँ पर ये स्टडी में जो है, क्वालिटेटिव स्टडी में, योर एक्शन बिकम्स अ पार्ट ऑफ द रिसर्च इटसेल्फ, ठीक है। वंस यू हैव परफॉर्म द एक्शन, यू विल सी द रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ द पेशेंट टू द एक्शन, ठीक है, rather than just asking them, rather than just seeing how they are experiencing one particular phenomena. You are taking an active step, and you are taking an action, and you are seeing how it is improving their condition. You observe, you collect data, and analyze it, your data, ठीक है। आप एक पेशेंट को देखें, लेट्स सपोज दे हैड एसिडिटी, and you are devising a plan that, okay, let us give a certain drug to him, or maybe it is not a drug, you are thinking of giving a non-pharmacological treatment to them, whatever it is, okay. Maybe it is curd rice or whatever it is, some plan that you devise, okay. Then you implement that plan, maybe you administer the drug, or maybe you give that particular type of food that decreases, or that is said to decrease acidity. Once you have administered it, you observe the patient's reaction, and you analyze the data. You collect the data and you analyze the data. Maybe you have done it to one patient, or maybe you have done it to several patients of the data. After that, you reflect on your findings. What do you think could have been improved? What do you think worked for them? You reflect the findings and you share. Okay. Let's suppose it was not able to solve the problem, or it led to another problem, different problem. You identify that new problem and you try to solve it. So this is the action research loop as such. Once you are able to reflect and share, and you have solved the problem, यहाँ पर loop break हो जाता है, ठीक है। नहीं तो if it stems a new problem, it will continue, ठीक है। तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं, essentially you are looking at a patient, you are implementing a solution, and you are seeing the reaction of that patient to the solution. You think that something might be the solution, and you try to implement that solution. Once you have implemented the solution, you will see how the patient is reacting to that solution. Okay, so those are action research studies. Then you are essentially seeing the effect of the action that you perform. Okay. Then we have grounded theory. अब ग्राउंडेड थियरी, इसको ग्राउंडेड इसलिए बोलते हैं क्योंकि you are essentially trying to study people's experience and come up with a theory, okay. So for example, let us suppose people are telling you that malaria is increasing. Let us suppose people are telling when it rains, malaria is increasing, the number of cases of malaria is increasing in a particular colony, in a residential colony, number of cases are increasing. This does not have any basis altogether. So what you do as a researcher is you go to that colony, you talk to the people, you observe those people, you observe the surroundings as such, you see the number of mosquitoes that are present there, and you develop a theory from that. ठीक है, आप essentially क्या कर रहे हैं, grounded theory में you are taking people's experience with the process and you are creating a theory out of it. It can be any superstition as well. So let's suppose there might be a superstition that X will do this thing. Let's suppose they are telling that, what should I put it? Okay, there is a general superstition that people are not supposed to, now I don't mean to offend anyone, but let's suppose there is a superstition that you are not supposed to cut your nails in the night. Okay, example. You are not supposed to explain. Every culture will have their own explanation for it. Now, one of the most scientific reasons that you can come up with it, why that came into picture was during the night it will be harder for you to actually see your nails properly, and you might end up cutting your skin. So it might have been, that superstition came up from the notion that one, in case you are not able to see your finger properly, you might injure yourself. तो आप वहां से थियराइज कर रहे हैं. So ये थियरी ये बनती कि people do not cut their nails during night because they have found out it is likely that they will injure themselves while cutting the nail during night. That is why it is advised to cut during the daytime. Okay. So that is a grounded theory. You are not collecting, you're not looking at any other source of data. You're not looking at textbooks, you're not looking at papers, anything. You're simply looking at people's experience of a particular process, and you're trying to create a theory out of that process. Okay, out of their experience of that process. Okay. Data is collected only from people. It is not collected from anywhere else. Grounded theory. That is why it's called grounded or rooted. Okay. It is rooted in the observation that you see. right? So those are all the types of qualitative research design. And with that, we have completed the chapter as such. All right. Hope you understood this.